Good morning, Agents of Nothing, and welcome to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast. We are your commanding officers. I'm Mariah.
And I'm Caroline.
And today we're going to be talking about Season 4, Episode 11, Wake Up.
Yeah. So, Mariah, how was your week?
It's been good. Pretty uneventful, thankfully.
That's good. That's good.
We just put the podcast on YouTube, though, so this might
Woohoo!
be some people's first episode. So,
Welcome.
Yeah, so how was your week?
It was pretty interesting. But on the bright side, I am working on a music video for a song that will be coming out soon. And actually, I wanted to ask if anybody listening would like to help me with it, because I do have an idea that includes having like little videos sent in from other people that they can just record with their phones or whatever. So if anybody is interested in that, you can DM me and I'll tell you more about it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you about it later.
Okay. If anyone is noticing a difference in the audio quality,
Yes.
Caroline is recording on her phone because her computer went kaput.
Yep. So I got a whole new setup right now, using my boyfriend's computer and my phone to record. So sorry if it sounds worse. You're welcome if it sounds better. I don't know.
I want to mention the last like 2 episodes have not had a Wikipedia page at all.
Weird.
It is really weird, and like I've had to really dig for some fun facts.
Wow.
So if it's a sparse, I'm sorry.
I'm sure you found some good ones.
All right, so
Let's do it.
this episode was written by Drew Z. Greenberg and directed by Jesse Bochco.
All right. There were no new characters in this episode.
Okie dokie.
Love that. All right. So we start off 5 days ago. I can't believe this has only been 5 fucking days.
I know.
This has been an insane week for them. But we finally get to see what happened when May initially went on her milk run mission to retrieve Ada from Radcliffe's lab. Radcliffe tries to weasel his way into getting the Darkhold to study himself, but May shuts him down completely, saying that no one is touching it until all of this is over, and then she's going to destroy it herself. Radcliffe says that he's going to inform Ada about the current mission so that she's ready to help when May arrives to collect her. And then after May walks out of the base, Radcliffe calls Ada and tells her to activate the Sunset Protocol. Very dramatic.
Everything always has to have a name.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just be like, Ada, we have a problem?
Right. Well, except that he already programmed her for this. So he was ready. So May arrives to Radcliffe's house, and Ada greets her calmly, and then quickly surprises May and sedates her before taking off her clothes and then putting them on the LMD May, then uploading real May's memories to LMD May.
I loved the very simple uploading memories.
Yeah. I guess he had more important things to code at that point. He was like, I just slap that on there. Ada then wakes up the LMD May in the same spot that real May was in just before she sedated her, and then they pick up where they left off, and LMD May has no idea that she's a robot. Fuck, that's so terrifying. So then fast forward to 1 day ago, real May kept waking up in a spa That was only 1 day ago. Real May kept waking up in a spa and realizing that something was off within seconds. Because why would Real May ever go to a spa, obviously?
Especially in the middle of the mission that they're on.
Right.
Like,
I don't know what they were thinking. Anyway, so she's finally able to wake up for real, as we saw, and Radcliffe and Ada sedate her again. Ada asks Radcliffe why they're keeping her alive. And Radcliffe attempts to explain morality to an android. And then he says that they have another LMD. Somebody else is a robot. Oh my god. Terrifying. Coulson, Simmons, Daisy, LMD, May, Jeff, and Talbot, so fucking everybody, almost, are all meeting to discuss their next move. Coulson wants Daisy to sign the Sokovia Accord, even though Senator Nadir will be present for it, so that he and Yo-Yo can break into Nadir's office to plant surveillance. Talbot is horrified and says that trying to play dirty with politicians is a bad idea. Which he was right. That's not great. Never gonna go well. Coulson says that Talbot and Jeff can handle the politics of it all, and then they can let Coulson handle the rest. Which was their agreement.
Yeah.
Simmons is nervous about Daisy's safety, but Daisy's all for it. LMD May is distracted, but she'll do whatever Coulson wants, as always. Simmons specifically says that Coulson and Daisy are not acting like themselves, which feels like a red herring, because actually this is, like, a classic Coulson-Daisy kind of plan. Radcliffe checks over the newly sedated May and deems her in good condition. So he leaves Ada to continue caring for her when Ada accidentally knocks over a beaker and breaks it. She says, "Not again," and then leaves the room, assumedly to get something to clean it up. Should androids be clumsy, though? That felt weird. And so the second that she walks away, May's eyes open. She was fake sleeping. Little faker. She quietly breaks another beaker and then begins to saw through her bonds with one of the glass shards. May is such a fucking badass. I literally love her so much. Elena and May... Whoa, not May.
Whoa.
That's a different story.
Flashback.
Elena and Mac finish with the quietest sex anyone's ever had. Nobody's even breathing hard.
I remember my dad not being happy about this post-sex scene.
Oh, I bet.
Because one, they weren't married, and two, why you gotta be showing that on TV?
Right.
It's a bad influence.
I'm watching this with my daughter. You were an adult at this point, too.
Yeah, I truly, yes. I was, like, in my 20s.
This was 2016?
Yeah, it was 2016. So I was, like, 21.
Cool. So, yeah, you were definitely having sex at that point. Elena says that she enjoys Mac, not just because of what's inside, but especially because he's so hot. It's like he's not even real. And Mac says, "You're not so bad yourself." And Elena's like, "Please, I'm a knockout." And she's right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
She then suspiciously drinks water while Mac gets a text. And immediately, why did I think she was suspicious for drinking water?
Maybe she was drinking the water suspiciously.
I don't know. I got suspicious because she was weird about the water somehow. And then Mac gets a text and immediately starts getting dressed. And he only tells Elena that there's been a change of plans. And so, obviously, they're just going to make everybody look like a potential LMD just to whip us up into a witch hunt this episode. But it didn't work. Because I knew that they were doing it to everybody. And so I was not suspicious of anybody.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. LMD May finds Fitz in the lab and subtly asks him if Ada knew what she was doing before it happened, if she could have stopped it. Fitz assumes that May just feels guilty about making Ada read the Darkhold to save him and Coulson, and he says that he wanted the same thing. He tells May that she would have done anything to save them. That's just how she's built. Which is very sweet, but I do feel bad for LMD May because she did not ask to be made.
I really liked the wording of "that's just how you're built" to LMD May.
For sure. You don't know how true your words are, Fitz. Real May is still sawing through her bonds and cutting the shit out of her hand in the process. At
this point, I wrote a note that said, "Ew, I knew she cut herself on that glass."
Yeah. Ada almost catches her, but Radcliffe unwittingly distracts her and then gives May more time, which is perfect.
So here is a goof. I couldn't find a bunch of fun facts, but I found a goof.
Oh.
After May is disturbed and starts cutting the restraint again, the blood on her hand has vanished.
Did it really? They put it on there, so I guess it's true, but I did not notice that.
Me neither.
Coulson tells Talbot that Mac is off the mission to take some personal time. Very suspicious. And Talbot's like, I literally do not care about that. Talbot only wants Coulson to change his mind about the second part of the mission, the stupid part. Talbot says that they cannot be caught launching an unauthorized investigation on her. And I'm like, just authorize it then. You have the authority, don't you? Jeff even backs Coulson up, saying that Senator Nadir has murdered or attempted to murder multiple people, including Jeffrey himself. An investigation is absolutely warranted. Talbot says that they need to have a contingency plan in case they're caught and in case Nadir wants something in return, like S.H.I.E.L.D. assets. Talbot says that they should give him some of the S.H.I.E.L.D. assets to keep safe at a military base. Which is very weird. Coulson's like, no? Why would we do that? Literally everyone at S.H.I.E.L.D. is trained to protect S.H.I.E.L.D. assets. Nowhere would be safer than where they are right now. So Talbot is definitely acting suspicious too.
I think this is the part, but I'm not sure, where Talbot says, "Keep calling me reactive, Phil. Half the time I'm reacting to the steaming pile of fart pebbles you hand me."
I love him so much. He's being a suspicious piece of shit right now, but I love him so much. May finally breaks free, and she makes it to the front door where Ada punches her through the glass. That was crazy. And then Ada takes a sconce off the wall and says, "Perhaps you'll be a problem after all." And the fight ensues, obviously. May eventually stabs Ada in the stomach with a fireplace poker. May eventually stabs Ada in the stomach with a fireplace poker, which slows Ada down long enough for May to get away. I'm not sure why she goes to the back door and then up some weird stairs instead of the front door, but okay. Also, I didn't realize that this was an apartment. I thought it was a house.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they don't say what part of New York it is. I don't think it's... Do they say it's New York City? Or do they just say New York?
I think they just say New York. So it could be anywhere.
Yeah, I would have assumed, like, with the size and all.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been a house. But also, this is, like, a dream sequence, so...
True. So Daisy arrives to the courthouse and sits next to Jeff. Jeff starts off the conversation a little intense, saying, "You don't talk about your childhood. Childhood. Oh my god." Hang on. Jeff starts off the conversation a little intense, like, "You don't talk about your childhood much, do you?" Fuck, Jeff, do you? But they actually end up having a nice little moment of understanding because they realize that they both have lived life putting on an act every day. But they both trust each other because Coulson trusts both of them. And it's actually a very sweet moment. I liked it a lot. Until Ellen Nadir comes in and ruins it, of course, with a vaguely threatening statement before she heads to the head of the room to take her seat. And why is she allowed to just be so threatening all the time? Obviously, this is the way that our actual government works.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't. So Yo-Yo and Coulson get through security easily. Yo-Yo even says, though, while they definitely would still have been within earshot of the guards at the door, the way that they were literally, 2 steps away, and she was like, "That was easy!" Just, screaming it.
Damn, Yo-Yo.
So as they make their way down the hall, Yo-Yo tries to get Coulson to tell her some of Mac's secrets. He says that he only knows what's in Mac's file. The guy is so private that even though they spent 6 months on a plane together, Coulson doesn't feel like he knows any more than Yo-Yo would about Mac. And he says, besides, isn't it better to learn about each other organically rather than all at once in a file? And Yo-Yo's like, no, all at once is way better. Which,
yeah. That's why I look at people's birth charts.
Yo-Yo even teases Coulson about him and May being obviously in love with each other and in denial about it. If only Coulson had a file on May to tell him all of her secrets, they'd be together by now. Except he kind of does have her file.
He definitely would have access to that, yes.
Yep. But I guess May's secrets wouldn't be in a file. Anyway, so they make their way into Nadir's office with ease. And it was interesting because I'm pretty sure there was literally people that you could see over their shoulder down the hall as they were going into her office.
Yeah.
So they were not discreet about this at all.
No. No, they very much weren't. Senator Nadir's office was in the Stamford wing. In the Marvel Comics, a battle between superpowered individuals at Stamford, Connecticut, caused the deaths of hundreds of bystanders and was the flashpoint for the Superhero Registration Act, which precipitated the Civil War, pitting heroes against heroes.
Interesting.
The comic Civil War is a lot different than not a lot different. They kept the basics kind of the same, but who's involved and how many people died and all that, they changed that.
Yeah. Cool. Nice little nod there. Simmons interrupts Fitz's research in their bedroom, and she says that she could use his help on the mission, but she understands if he's busy. She also reminds him that although she doesn't want to interrupt his processing, part of the perks of having a girlfriend is the ability to talk about things with her. You can say that again. Fitz says he's okay, he just needs time to process alone. Simmons very gracefully says okay and leaves him to it. And I just hate when they lie to each other. And then quick check-in on May. She is still running upstairs. There are a lot of stairs, apparently.
I don't understand what... I know this is a dream sequence, and I know that they're just, like, giving her a puzzle to solve. But, like, what's her plan when she gets to the top of the stairs?
Right. I was like, why are you running up? Run down. So, Daisy is doing great in front of the council, and then it's Nadir's turn. She asks if Daisy will be more inclined to help Inhumans rather than, quote, normal people. Daisy quickly corrects the senator to say that Inhumans are normal, and that they're an underserved group with few resources, and they face more hate crimes than any other group. So while Agent Johnson is there to help all Americans, she does anticipate that Inhumans will need her help more often than other groups. Which is an excellent answer, and the metaphor is just slapping us in the face. And as we said, this was like 2016, so holy shit.
Yeah.
Very topical. She even brings up subtly that Nadir's brother was Inhuman, and she knows that he's been missing. Senator Nadir then asks about the banks that Daisy robbed and where the money went. And while Daisy does specify that the money was in those accounts illegally, she doesn't exactly have a good answer for where it went. She just says it went to a good cause.
Yeah.
Coulson and Yo-Yo are almost done placing their bugs when suddenly Simmons' iPad blacks out. I know how that feels. And she can no longer communicate with them or watch for security. Then Yo-Yo opens a drawer and gets blasted and knocked out as security barges in. Back in the courtroom, Nadir continues saying that either Daisy chose to rob the banks and do what she wanted with the money independently, or S.H.I.E.L.D. was ordering her on illegal operations. Either way, it does not look good. Talbot tries to step in on her behalf, but Nadir continues that S.H.I.E.L.D. is, even now, participating in illegal activity by breaking into her office. And then she has her guards bring Coulson and Yo-Yo into the room as proof. Fuck.
God damn it, Nadir. I hate her so much.
I know. She's so smart and evil. So Daisy, Coulson, and Yo-Yo sit and wait for Talbot and Jeff to finish their very uncomfortable conversation with Nadir. Talbot and Jeff come back and tell them that there's going to be a full investigation. Jeff tries to look on the bright side, but Talbot is freaking the fuck out. He lashes out at Coulson, saying that everyone should have listened to him when he said that going after Nadir was a bad idea. Coulson says they just have different styles. This may be a difficult situation to deal with, but it did inform them that they have a leak. Someone tipped off Nadir that they would be there, specifically that Yo-Yo would be there. Coulson then asks if Talbot was the leak, since Talbot was so against the op in the first place. Talbot says he wasn't, and he's incredibly offended. He says that S.H.I.E.L.D. wouldn't even exist anymore without him, but maybe that was a mistake. Cruel.
They're all so dramatic. I have to laugh.
Maybe that was a mistake. Oh. So May finally gets through the door on another floor and finds herself in an empty apartment just like Radcliffe's. This was where I was realizing that he was in an apartment. And what a weird setup for an apartment. All of them open directly to the stairs? That's weird as fuck. Anybody can get into your apartment. Anyway, I guess you're right. It's a dream sequence, so I shouldn't take it too literally. But it was it was supposed to be realistic enough for her to believe it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. She almost makes it out the front door when Ada appears behind her and they fight again. This time, May pushes Ada off the balcony, and a new Ada appears and tells May that she's completed this simulated course. Again. Ada says that May has been getting better at completing it so fast that they haven't even finished coding the next one yet. Even though they wipe her memory every time, May keeps getting better, which gives her hope that she will get out eventually.
Memory traces, I think is what they said.
Memory traces. Yeah.
That's such a cool concept.
Mm-hmm. It's like the body remembers kind of thing.
Yeah.
So LMD, May, and Simmons are discussing the leak when Simmons comes up on Fitz in the lab. She confronts him about his obsession with studying Ada, and he admits that he turned on her ocular receptors, and Simmons goes off on him about how stupid that was. Radcliffe was using Deathlock's eye tech in Ada, and then Ada hacked her way into their entire system. So she could have been broadcasting everything straight to who knows where. May hears this and immediately leaves the room, horrified. But not at Fitz, obviously. Fitz says that he and the head weren't even in the meeting where they talked about this op, so Ada couldn't have leaked that. Simmons doesn't even hear him. She's so angry. He finally cuts her off and says, "This isn't an obsession, it's an investigation." And somehow that gets her to stop. I don't know. LMD May shows up at Radcliffe's door and asks what the hell he did to her.
Which, again,
she finds
he
out.
lives in New York. The base is in D.C.
Literally.
Do they just get to use the Quinjets whenever they want for whatever they want?
I don't know. Like, did she take the train or something? Like, but she finds out that part of her programming is that she won't want to hurt Radcliffe or tell anyone what she is. She is May enough to be absolutely horrified at this. And Radcliffe implies that he knows that she wants to be with Coulson, but won't even let herself want it. Won't let herself be happy.
Radcliffe is low-key just playing matchmaker. Like, that's
Truly.
his, like, side plot. Like, mission 1, get the Darkhold. Mission 2, get May and Coulson together.
But, like, will real May even remember all of this?
I don't know.
Because are they gonna upload LMD May's memories back into May?
That would be wild.
That would be so crazy. So Coulson, Fitz, Simmons, and the SHIELD SWAT team then burst into Radcliffe's apartment and tell him that they figured out that he programmed Ada to spy on them, and so they take him into custody. Coulson asks why May is there, and she gives him a half-truth about how she had a hunch based on something Fitz said, so she came to check it out, and the truth came out. She doesn't tell him what the truth was, though, and she looked very conflicted about it. And again, nobody goes to look in the lab.
Nope.
So Yo-Yo is waiting for Mac when he gets back to his room. She's frustrated with how things have been going, and she feels like he's playing games with her. He finally opens up and tells her that he went to go see his ex. She's upset because she thinks that he's breaking up with her, but he continues that he had a daughter named Hope who died 11 years ago when she was 4 days old. He says that tomorrow is Hope's birthday, and his ex always has a hard time on that day, which is why she texted him. So he went to go be with her and spent a day remembering Hope.
I get that they, like, haven't been dating that long and that Mac is a private person, but I feel like that's something he could have easily explained.
Absolutely.
Like, hey,
Absolutely.
sorry I need to run, but blah, 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 blah.
Literally. And especially because, like, they've already had issues with Elena being upset that he doesn't communicate.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't talk about their feelings. They went on a date and then he didn't say anything after that. And then, like, you've already had this problem. Why are you going to continue doing the thing that you know she doesn't like?
Oh, God.
People are dumb. So then May and Coulson have a drink together after a very long and very bad day.
So I took note of the quote. May says, "Today wasn't great." Coulson says, "Cauliflower isn't great. Today was a kick in the balls."
Yeah, that was a
Which
good line.
I agree that cauliflower isn't great. When I went through my little vegetarian phase, I would make myself like cauliflower, like popcorn chicken bites, and it was good for a while until I had too much, and then it like bloated me so much I looked like I was pregnant, and I like was on the bathroom floor crying because there was just so much gas in my tummy.
Fucking cauliflower. My beef with cauliflower is that people tried to do too much with it. There was like, cauliflower can replace everything. It'll replace rice and pizza crust and fucking whatever you
Popcorn
want. And
chicken.
I'm like, no. It actually cannot replace everything.
Textures matter.
It actually is a worse version of everything that you're trying to replace with it. And it makes me sad. And I would rather have broccoli. Okay? That's all. Okay. So, May and Coulson. Coulson is pretty dejected about the state of things and that he feels like he led S.H.I.E.L.D. astray again. May says that they are who they are, flaws and all. Coulson asks if she's okay with that, and she says yes. And, like, not the best pep talk, but it was certainly a nice kind of tension rather than, like, the anxiety of the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ship Coulson and May?
I mean, I love their friendship. I feel like they're I just love that they're close in general. I know that that's where, or like this, it feels like that's where the show is taking them, and I'm fine with it. But I wouldn't say I ship them, if that makes sense.
I gotcha.
It feels like a natural progression of their relationship. And so I don't hate it, but I'm not, like, rooting for it.
That makes sense.
So Fitz visits Radcliffe in the holding cell, and he is pissed. He says it was a mistake ever trusting Radcliffe. Radcliffe says that things just got out of control, but Fitz is like a son to him. He says he never wanted to hurt anyone. His first priority has always been to preserve life. And then Fitz has a realization right then and there, so he walks back to the door and borrows the guard's gun, and without hesitation, he shoots Radcliffe in the head, and he was right. Radcliffe was the other LMD. And I don't know why I did not see that coming at all. Holy shit.
I did like that, like, Fitz has the realization when Radcliffe says, or when the LMD says, that he has always wanted just to preserve life, because that's only half the truth. Radcliffe has always wanted to preserve his own life.
Uh-huh. Yep. And because Fitz is like a son to him, he knows.
Yep.
He knows Radcliffe better than anybody else. And so then we find out, obviously, that this was the leak. And Nadir is watching the live stream as it cuts out, and she turns over to the real Radcliffe. He apparently called her right after his first attempt at the Darkhold failed. Nadir says she won't be able to protect him, though. He has to meet the Superior. Fuck. Oh my god.
My goodness.
So now it's time for the post-content content. Radcliffe joins Ada in some kind of bunker. Ada says that May has been doing much better with the new simulation they've had her in. Radcliffe says he realized that they couldn't relax her because she'd just keep fighting, and they couldn't give her a new fight because she'd just keep winning. So they had to give her an old fight that she'd already lost. Oh my god. They put her back in Bahrain, but he edited the memory so that she was able to save the little girl. He put her in an alternate universe inside her head. This is so fucking terrifying. Because eventually when she wakes up, she's gonna have no idea what's real and what isn't. Like, it's gonna change the entire trajectory of her life. Andrew might still be alive. What if she doesn't ever retire from S.H.I.E.L.D., so then she never gets recruited to be on the Bus Kids team? She'll literally be living an entirely different life and then wake up and be plopped into this chaos. I went on a spiral after this. Oh my god. That's so terrifying.
I can't say anything.
Oh my god. Okay. It's so fucking good.
Yes.
Like, I hate it so much because it's literally like a fear of mine. Oh god.
Wait, is the next episode actually called that?
Yes,
Oh.
it is.
Sorry, I scrolled ahead. All right.
Yep.
So that was your overall thoughts, was that you hate it because it's so fucking good?
Yes, that's what I thought. What about you?
I love it. I love, like, okay, the only thing that I can say is that it only gets better from here. And by better, I mean, like, worse.
Better, as in worse.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, well, that concludes our episode on Season 4, Episode 11, Wake Up.
Oh my god.
Next time, we'll be covering Season 4, Episode 12, Hot Potato Soup, so stay tuned for that.
Okay, bye.
Bye, love you.